Up until now, we've pointed out individual cases of voter fraud. Vote from home, Vote Today Ohio, campaign staff workers. All in all, we've profiled about a dozen people who don't meet Ohio residency requirements but still voted in Ohio. On Saturday, October 25th, boards of elections across the Buckeye State will begin to open absentee ballots. The Franklin County prosecutor said it is possible to segregate ballots under inquiry until the residency issues are resolved. But what about the ballots that aren't flagged at the onset? Those votes are counted. If questions are later raised, prosecution can still take place, but the vote cannot be canceled. That's a frightening thought when you realize the sheer numbers of potentially fraudulent votes that we haven't had the time or resources to identify. To put this in perspective, there's continued litigation over 200,000 questionable registrations that the Secretary of State will not release to the boards of election. Now, obviously, Donald Duck isn't going to show up to the polls wearing a full bodysuit, but what if somebody fraudulently registers a Donald Brown and he is sent an absentee ballot? Now the boards of elections won't know about his flagged registration, and that potentially fraudulent vote could count. Then there's also the matter of the thousands of out-of-state volunteers who come to Ohio to get out the vote. Mainstream media put Acorn in the crosshairs, but an entire herd of other get-out-the-vote groups and their volunteers escaped scrutiny. How did these groups claim Ohio? 2 words: social networking. In early 2007, one of Facebook's lesser-known founders, Chris Hughes, moved to Chicago to help Barack Obama with his new media campaign. Voila! MyBarackObama.com. It's a political social network site that allows supporters to communicate, post pictures, and set up events. And while the campaign was busy with their own networking site, other individuals reached out to the broader scope of Facebook for their own purposes. Here's a few examples. Drop everything and come to Ohio time, more than 1,160 members. We found several dozen of these people registered in Franklin County. Logic would indicate more names could show up in other Ohio counties that DeActo targeted as well. I'm going to win Ohio for Obama. 256 members. We know 3 people from this group already voted in Franklin County. Their independent website, Vote Today Ohio, states they directly helped 3,300 people vote during Ohio's Golden Week, when people could both register and vote at the same time. So what about their ballots? How legit are they if there's even a chance that the founders are fraudulently voting in Ohio? Aside from Columbus, Vote Today Ohio also targeted Cincinnati and Cleveland as well. I haven't been able to check those databases, and now time is running out. Lawyers for Obama protect the vote in Ohio. 60 members. They're requesting lawyers and law students to serve as observers on Election Day. Their slogan: take 2 days off and change the world. 100 for change, 131 members. In the description, the group asks if people are looking for a way to make a difference that doesn't involve temporarily moving to Ohio. But by offering an alternative, these Obama supporters acknowledge that people are moving into Ohio to vote. And that's exactly what Vote From Home, the first Get Out the Vote organization we found, did. They moved to Ohio and voted. According to their Facebook group, their mission was to help paint a red state blue. That group was taken down after our investigation. According to a New York Post reporter, people shared rides from New York City and Massachusetts to help Vote From Home. Now, many of their names are showing up as registered to vote in Franklin County. If you think the 13 people living at 2885 Brownlee Avenue was it when it came to fraudulent voting, think again.